Namaste everyone. I'm Sanjay Bahadur Singh. So today I'm going to talk about some projects, me and my friends that we're associated in. So yeah, I'll try to connect at the end and make it more relatable to you all. Yeah, I'm Sanjay Bahadur Singh. I'm a biomedical engineer, but I don't look like one. I don't know like how I agreed to put this picture. One of my friends, he told me that it would look cool. So yeah, it's better be. So biomedical engineer is someone who deals with medical devices, including but not limited to, repairing them, managing them in hospitals, in medical companies, doing medical research, medical innovations, and whatnot, right? So there is a now weird thing comes. Yeah. So if someone asks you or someone asks me if what you want to do in life, so I don't think I have a precise answer or something answer that is so convincing to me, right? So, but there will be always a thing that you wanted to do. So, ever since I was growing up in school and college, so I just wanted to teach kids, in some of the remotest part of Nepal, and I thought I would do something in that, loving kids and everything. So now, after working in a medical company for like around 2 years and exploring different parts of Nepal, so I decided to, move on. Probably it would be a kind of a perspective shift for me. Also, I wasn't happy. I don't know about that thing at the time. But me and then some of my weird friends who tag along, the one thing in common was like we didn't mind to start from zero. So I was doing well, right? But all of a sudden you're going out and everything, convincing parents and everything, that was very hard. But yeah, I didn't mind to start from zero. So we set out the journey to Dolba. I think most of you have heard about it, right? So yeah, so we met a great person, Sai. So he had been teaching in Upper Dolpa since last decade. So we got to meet him. I was totally motivated. We were oriented well. We had a lot of preparation at the time. But when we went there, still amazed and overwhelmed, with the places and everything. By the way, it takes 2 domestic flights and at least 7 days of trek to reach the place where we, taught the kids. So it was just A for apple and B for ball. Wasn't a big deal for me at the time, but it became a very big deal. So when me and my friends were teaching kids, I was like I think it was in nursery. So I was teaching the kids K for a kite. I couldn't make them understand, why? Because they had never seen the kite. It was so something to reflect back. I was teaching them T for tree. They have never seen a tree, like just a bush around, right? So how could we make them understand? It was such a challenge for me. It was such a, different perspective shifts, changes the definition of everything for me and my friends, changes the definition of education, how we take education here, what it takes for the better education there, right? What it help means to them, what is livelihood. So it was like we were like completely out of zone at the time. So it was something what we take granted for in the valley and everything. So it was such a hardship but very promising lifestyle. Dolba is very rich in culture, very in population. So it was something to reflect back and everything, and so it was a great journey back then. But so I'll share the story a little bit. So that's the village that we worked in, right? Okay, so that's the time. So yeah, it was just like the hardship was real. The kids coming all the way to the school, fetching waters that we hear usually from our parents, they did firsthand. So we used to just fetch water. So there was a challenge in everything. There was no transportation. Me and my friends, we couldn't communicate with our parents for 6 months. We were there for 6 months. And so nothing. So there are a lot of challenges. But what we did, what kind of education did it give us? So there's a few other things. So we came back after 6 months because the whole experience was something like I think we learned more than we taught the kids, right? So, and there was 2 cases I just wanted to share with you all. One of our students, she had to drop out from the school because her parent passed away at the time, right? So she has to immediately drop out of the school and had to work in the fields, right? And then look after the cattle and everything. So we couldn't do anything at the time. then what we decided when it came back is like, like what to do, can we solve this problem? I don't know, we didn't know about that. So I think there's sometimes we cannot plan everything, right? So sometimes you have to just initiate. So after we came back, we decided to start a campaign healing the Himalayas. So we just started to take a health camp out there, right? So we call a volunteer for the doctors, and being a biomedical engineer, helped by a lot of engineers at the time, give us medical equipment and medicines, and we set out this crazy journey. So yeah, the doctors out there, like they didn't check before. We were crossing high passes as high as like more than 5,000 meters. So it was just a journey, and then we did a health camp. But was it a problem solver? Of course not. But what was the insight, So when we took the doctors in the village, the kids were so amazed to see that doctors are as human as they are, So the next point, the next kid told us that I think I wanted to be a doctor, because he or she saw the doctor for the first time, and this the idea of exploring or getting exposed to new things, helped to dream bigger and bigger. So that was our first insight. That was something that we can push more, right? So that was the first thing. And another case study I just wanted to tell you that there was no electricity. We didn't used to give homework because there was no light in their home, right? It's totally off grid. So they had a small solar in their home just enough to light up their one room, so they had kitchen, living room, everything, right? So they couldn't read it properly. So I think, yeah, we just quickly bought these inflatable solar lanterns, and then we make a charge station, so a small charge station like that, and then so that the kid can come to the school and take the light back home, so they can study independently back home. So it was Project Jyoti. We called it Shiksha Sange Urja. So that was something very simple and everything, but kids were very happy and they were able to read and study home. So one of the major thing that we initiated this project is one of our students. She used to tell her brother that because Tibet market is very close, just a day to Tibet, but 5 days to his own headquarters. So right, so she used to tell her brother, please मलाई candle ल्याइदिनुहोस्, म पढ्छु Tibet marketबाट राति. So that was something that blew our mind, and then we decided to do this. So after coming back, going again, doing some projects, and coming back, I was into the biomedical engineering again, doing some exchange programs and everything. And then there, we were just helping repairing the medical equipment, and then we saw a warmer. So this is basically a wooden box, so there is a lamp inside it, and then that helps to warm the baby, the preterm birth, if you know about it, the neonatal case. So so it's put inside and then it's warm there. So after seeing this, it was like, I think this can be something we can build in our own country. It was like, idea was like just to replace this kind of heaters, but the makeshift innovation back then was truly remarkable by our, the technicians working in the hospital. So then the story of Nano Nani begins. We named the baby warmer Nano Nani. So baby warmer is a device, is a medical device that helps to warm the babies, the neonatal babies, so premature babies. It helps to maintain the temperature and gives the adequate amount of heat. So thanks to the National University Center, so the platform back then, we formed a team. So we had the same, insights and everything. So we made it, and then I think it took a year with, vigorous testing and everything. So we made this device at a time. We were able to replace heaters, and then now we distribute in so many districts, about 50 districts, and then we have done 100 installations at National University Center. So yeah, so the journey is something. So when we were working in National University Center, developing Nano Nani, so COVID happened, and then we were exposed to do so many things, makeshift innovations like before, doing crazy things like trying to solve the problems for health personnel and everything. So we're making ventilators, we're repairing them, we're making oxygen plants, attaching different oxygen concentrators. We're making some pipers, respiratory that would be easy for health personnel to work in the COVID time. We're making isolation chambers so that the rescue can be very, efficient for the affected people, and also drones. So the young people are still working on, drones from the scratch for the medical drone delivery and other applications. So just to tell you, like Walmart, Walmart, right? Walmart, they delivers groceries in the people's customers' house by the drone. Now we're making this because due to the harsh terrain and hard to reach areas, we're making this for the medical emergencies or so many things. Don't you think it's a very right time or a hard time to invest in such innovations? So yeah, this was the kind of insight. So I'm also a solar project developer. So I love to develop projects for the low research settings. And yeah, so I think the renewable energy or solar or different kind of thing started from the Dorpo. So one of the learning I want to share is curiosity and exploration develops empathy and insights. So that will help you to identify the problems. And yeah, so take the responsibility of the problems and ownership. So maybe it will be small, but it helps you to ignite and stoke you. So just wanted to give you one fact. Each hour, 430 quintillion joules of energy from sun hits the earth. That means 18 zeros after 4:30, right? So that's more than enough to light up the whole world for 1 year. So are we able to harness all this solar energy? Sorry. Okay. So what's our take in solar in context of Nepal? So renewable energy. So we know hydro, right? Hydroelectricity is also renewable energy. But the thing is, so we need more constructions, right? Sometimes we need to shift the whole settlement, so many things. Glacier used to be a renewable energy. It was a renewable energy source, but now it's not renewable because the precipitation of ice is lower than it melts, right? So it's not a renewable energy. So it's affecting hydroelectricity and climate change is a real issue. So, but what next? So should we rely on the hydroelectricity for longer, or what's the alternative? So if you talk about alternative, I will talk about the solar, right? So solar, because the places that we have, like in the remote communities and everything, Trans-Himalayan region, and the places where there are no roads or very difficult to construct the roads and everything, and accessibility. So solar mini grids are there. So there is government bodies, AEPC, Alternative Energy Promotion Center. They are giving subsidies, and then so building this kind of projects, which is more viable than the hydroelectricity, right? So, and another thing is solar is sustainably driven innovation and projects. So that means, so making a small community sustainable using solar, that could be a lot of application, even powering communities, small communities of probably 20, 30, 50 houses, using solar for, promoting digital labs and for the promoting digital literacy for the small kids. For solar for drinking water, solar for agro-processing meal and securing the food security and whatnot. So just for example, SIP, solar irrigation pump. So we talk about a lot, right? So will it, the irrigation pump, will it, help farmer to grow more? I mean, economically? I'm not sure, but the only one thing is that will definitely increase the productivity of our fields, right? So these are the few examples that I think solar is plays a significant role in our country. So another thing, so a little bit of future. So insulated solar electric cooker is another small innovations by the Peter Schwartz from California University. So he's looking for the collaborators around the world, and then friends of National Innovation Center, we are able to work with him. So that's the 200 watt heater and then 200 watt solar. So it's used just to cook the food. It has an aluminum body, it stores the heat, it has a high thermal conductivity, and then it stores the heat capacity, and then the slow cooking process, so we can do it. So this kind of innovations, I think the people, because the foreigners, they are coming and doing a lot of things, because though they don't have these kind of problems, right? But what about we? We are seeing the problems in front of us. So I think it's high time to work our own problems, right? Yeah. So we're doing solar installation in one of the hospital in the Sundali. So it was a wonderful collaboration with the municipality. So they built a hospital, whole hospital, and then we partner with them to power with solar and then equip with the burning facility. So one thing, another thing I learned, share your passion, share your work with, though it is very minimal, though it is very, no matter how small it is, because it will lead to the sparks, collaborations and connections with many more. So I was working with had opportunity to work with Beast Philanthropy, but we installed the solar, but I couldn't tell him, that the warmer inside the hospital is like designed and developed by us. I was that shy, but thanks to the wonderful friend of mine, he need to have a very good circle. So they told them, so designed by and developed by this and that. And so you have to share your passion always, and please do not hesitate how small it is. So we told them, and then they funded us with 10 more baby warmers, and then we installed in different locations. So that was a great collaboration with them. So our warmers with operating by one of the nurses, we give a training, and that's in the Sinduli. So Nepal has enormous potential for change. We need change makers. Be the change. Let's enjoy the process. If Nepal doesn't need a hero. You just need an environment where everyone can dream of anything and then work on it. So I think it's hard time that just dream. Just initiate sometimes. We cannot plan everything. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanjay ji, for shedding light on the transformative power of innovation through exploration and empathy. I have had an opportunity